Street. Sky News, Rihanna Mills report on Prince Harry meeting his father, King Charles. At least she appreciates that full reconciliation will take time. Okay, 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Screenshot, okay?
Harry visited Clarence House yesterday, for a meeting with the King, described by Buckingham Palace as a private tea. It was their first meeting in 19 months. The last time the father and son saw each other was in February 2024, when the Duke of Sussex flew to London after the monarch announced his cancer diagnosis. Our royal correspondent Meghan.
Wow, it's that long? It seems like it was recently. For some reason, I was thinking it was this February, but it was last year. And I did report on it. But anyway, let's continue.
Mills reports and a warning of some flash photography coming up.
It was the King arriving back at Clarence House from Scotland that signalled it might be happening. And then, at around 5:30, we saw him. Harry in a car heading towards the gates of Clarence House. A significant moment in what has been 5 years of upset and pain for the royal family. Ever since Prince Harry flew in from America on Monday, there's been constant questions about whether they'd see each other. His team less secretive about what he's been doing, allowing more cameras in. The one topic they were avoiding was his family.
One thing I have to highlight, there's Harry shaking that black young lady's hand. If it was his father, he'll find a way to skip her. Let's continue.
After his car left Clarence House, after around an hour, Harry's team let the palace confirm that father and son had had tea. When we heard that Harry's team had met up with the King's Communications Secretary earlier in the summer, it did seem to suggest that things were maybe shifting. And it would have felt strange if the two men hadn't met after what has felt like a really positive week for Harry. Nobody is kidding themselves that everything is going to be forgotten, but this does signal a gradual reset from a man who very publicly has said he does want reconciliation with his family.
And the thing we have to keep in mind, okay, I don't know if people are taking all of this into consideration. Okay, first of all, Harry was born in that institution, okay? He understands how his family works, operate, and the background that many of us, including the papers, may not know. And he also understands how the papers operate and the mentality of each individual's within his family, and also things that he uncovered while going in court. Okay?
At this point, I'm feeling very let down. It's the minority of people, especially those that read the tabloids and the press themselves. The press themselves have incited so much hatred towards myself, my wife, and even our children. That's hard to forgive. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought with all the disagreements and all of the chaos that's happening, the one thing that I could rely on is my family keeping me safe. And not only did they decide to remove my security in the UK, but they also signaled to every single government around the world not to protect us.
So when he's making certain decisions, he understands what is being at play here. When he said his family are trapped,
I'm acutely aware of where my family stand and how scared they are of the tabloids turning on them.
Turning on them for what? They're the royal family.
Yes, but it's there is this invisible what's termed or referred to as the invisible contract behind closed doors between the institution and the tabloids, UK tabloids.
How so?
Well, it is to simplify. It's a case of if you as a family member are willing to wine, dine, and give full access to these reporters, then you will get better press.
What do you care about better press if you're royal?
I think everyone needs to have some compassion for them in that situation, right? There is a level of control by fear that has existed for generations. I mean,
But who's controlling?
My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
I fully understand why he feel his family are trapped. And for me, okay, I don't know, I'm not speaking for Harry or anybody, pretty much just for myself, and probably I could be 1,000,000% wrong. For me, I feel like they messed up Charles since he was a toddler. So growing up with a fear of the tabloid, okay, and then the Queen probably wasn't really teaching him to be a tough man, despite what men in gray suit may have said. If the Queen's father was alive, maybe that training of being tough, knowing that you are the freaking king, no one is above you, or the Queen, no one is above you, okay, and respect to what is written in terms of the law in the UK. So that aspect is lost in some shape or form with the monarchy, in my humble opinion. And then there's Charles, at some point, was training William to understand the same crazy lack of authority mindset of him, to feel like the papers is more powerful than him. When in fact, if Charles had some backbone, knowing that I am the freaking king, I could say what the army does in respect to the law, because it's a constitution, I believe it's a constitutional monarchy, so he doesn't have full power, but in respect to the law, whatever is written in the law of the UK. Alright, so he could do certain things. Look at this. Charles decided to tell Warwick not to provide Harry security. Okay? So, again, there's so many little branches of things with all of these things that is being played here. Yes, it's Charles who probably command this, but Charles could also be just a puppet being afraid of the papers, saying that you better tell Warwick not to provide your son with security, or else whatever they have against him, okay, or whatever Charles is afraid of.
I'm acutely aware of where my family stand and how scared they are.
And the same thing can be said what's happening in the US. Okay, when you look at Trump around some other people who's not even elected, he's like a freaking coward. But when he could show his authority on some other people who doesn't have that same kind of power as the other he was showing lack of, he will show that he is strong. But yet, those, when you look at, for instance, those executive orders that he was writing, signing his name the moment he became president, you think it's Trump who voted? No, it's the same group of people who already vote, who wants to destroy America from within, vote all these executive orders for, I keep on thinking of Charles, of Trump to sign his name. And then you see the destruction. I mean, again, Harry understand what is being at play here. When he was saying during the Santa Bali speech, he said, this is much bigger than just us.
When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us.
All of this, what we are seeing happening around the globe, I believe that has something to do with it, because he knows what's going on. Okay? Keep that in mind. All those political things that I've been saying in the couple years ago, the Epstein, all of these things, they all are connected. Okay? They grab all powerful people and trap them in this web of unethical behavior. And they capture them, and I don't know if they have pictures, videos, or whatever, Okay, and then these people who they caught, whichever way, either photograph or video, whichever way they caught them, the people who were performing the act, they knew it was wrong. That's the thing here. They knew it was wrong. If people know it was wrong, if people know of their behavior, the shame. This is what's going on right now. It's because of shame. And they're holding these things against these powerful people. That's all that is being played here. And then they will rather destroy the country, okay, to just come out and say, I'm guilty. Yes, I did this. My name was on the list. They will rather take the entire country or even the world, because from what I'm seeing, there's another country that was bombed and invaded, you name it, Qatar, Poland, all of these. All of these are being played. Okay? Keep these things in mind when you see Harry is walking in a fine line. And what Meghan did while they kicked Harry out, okay, not being a working royal, Meghan exit herself. She has not, well, I'm not speaking for them, okay? That's my perception of things. So Meghan exit herself and the kids out of this BS, and she's doing her thing. Okay? So let me move this back slightly. So there is a lot of thing that is being played here. I hope people understand. Okay? I move it back slightly. Let's listen.
He is kidding themselves that everything is going to be forgotten, but this does signal a gradual reset from a man who very publicly has said he does want reconciliation with his family.
Okay, reconciliation with the family. It's not the king, okay? For Harry, Charles is two things for Harry. Charles is Harry's father, okay? The sperm donor, and Charles is also Harry's king of the UK. So right now, when Harry goes in the UK to meet with Charles, that's the father. Harry have said this before. He didn't want a king. In terms of family dynamic aspect of things, he did not want the king in the background when the cameras are not rolling. He did not want the king. He wanted a father. But in front of the camera, Charles and Harry will act in that respective role as sixth in line or fifth in line, and Charles is the king in front of the camera. So all of this, we need to differentiate it, compartmentalize these issues. All right, so let's continue.
It is huge when you think this is the first time they've met up in over a year and a half. The last time, February 2024, was when the king had been diagnosed with cancer. In May, after losing his court battle with the Home Office over security, Harry confirmed how bad the split with his family still was, saying they weren't talking to him.
Okay, he understand what happened. Okay, after things that were, because I did cover some of these things, the issues in court, because this is very important. There were things that were shown in front of the camera, and there are things that were very sensitive. It was off camera. So the things that Harry find out off camera really breaks his heart to see his family was behind it. Again, it's the string of the puppet that was running. So I think in the back of Harry's head, he probably understood that, but yet it was being played to him. Okay, so let's continue.
They're never going to protect you.
Of course, with documentaries, interviews, and his book Spare, a lot's been said and done since the Sussexes decided to leave royal life and move to America 5 years ago.
Okay, this aspect needs to be corrected every time they say it. Harry and Meghan wanted to stay.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there.
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
They even said it in the Oprah interview. However, it is William who hired Simon Case. Okay, it seems like Simon Case knows the law very well in the UK, and he knows how to manipulate or circumnavigate around the law to make things happen for some people. And that is exactly what happened here. It was put it in writing for him to get out. So he left. Okay, so all of this needs to be said. Harry and Meghan wanted to stay, but William did not. Okay.
And still the divide with his brother Prince William, who was on a visit to Cardiff, seems very raw. Neither side is saying what was talked about over tea, but this meeting feels like a positive step forward, even if a full reconciliation is likely to take some time. Rhiannon Mills, Sky News.
This is Sky News. We'll have more of the day's news.
Okay, so that's that. Oh, there's not that much coming. Okay, why do they keep repeating 19 months as a long time for family living in different continents? My ex in London, who was Irish, saw his family at Christmas 11 months, if no emergency before. My family all had a international job. It was lucky if we saw each other 2 to 3 years. Oops, let's pause. 2 to 3 years, and it wasn't in tech age. Well, I don't know what to say about that. All right, so that's a different language. Let's go to the next one. So